doing my part. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part.
Well, we'll see how that all works out, hey? Good afternoon, everyone. How are we, class? It's good to have you back here. Oh, this is a little bit wibbly wobbly, but that's we will figure that out later. That's fine. I thought I would just do a little bit of a test. For those who do not know, we are not currently monetized on YouTube. We've still got many watch hours to go, but we are so close to the subscriber count. So thank you guys for everyone who has been joining the live streams on YouTube, because we're almost able to get monetized because we're close to 1,000 subscribers. So chin, cheers. Thanks, guys. On top of that, we can't get monetized until we hit the watch hours, but simply you guys turning up and watching the VODs or watching the live streams have been getting us there regardless. So I'm not too fussed about forcing it to happen. I think that as long as I keep on turning up, that we'll probably hit that by the end of the month or so, based on my predictions. So thank you guys very much for your support. I'm very humbled, and it's been really cool to see the progression, I guess, in the growth of the community. So thanks, class. Thank you. But one of the things I thought I would trial out is just playing some music in the starting soon screen. The reason why I don't want to play it during my chitter chatter right now is because if there is something that is copyright claimed, I will have to basically mute myself. There are some now new AI tools in YouTube where it looks like they try to cut out the background music and keep any of the speech, but it makes it very garbled. So I don't really want to rely on it. But I figured instead of giving you guys just straight silence at the beginning, that if I play something at the beginning, I should theoretically be able to mute that and it not affect future monetization should we get monetized, because I can just mute the starting soon screen. So that's why I was like, well, we're not monetized, let's push the needle a little bit, let's push the boundaries, see what YouTube does and does not allow us to get away with. There's a possibility that it might flag me while we're live, so that's why I decided I'll just play the very appropriate Another Brick in the Wall by Pink Floyd, and then we'll go from there and just see what happens. Basically just trialing out how it works. But it's good to have you guys here. I had a nice, very chill morning, so I hope you guys had a good day yourselves. In terms of what tea I'm drinking, it's my go-to tea, which is just English breakfast. For those who don't know what English breakfast is, it's basically just black tea, as in what tea is, as in the tea leaves that are black. And so then, but I have a splash of milk, no sugar, thank you very much. And that's what I've got. That's it. It's so I don't really do the what are called tisanes, as in the fruity teas or green teas. I typically stick to some sort of black tea. It doesn't mean that I don't like the others. It's just this is my go-to. Some people call it plumber's tea as well, if that answers your question as well. Good morning, or good afternoon rather. How much to cut your AI and are your hair? 3. Hey Grady, how you going? Hi, I'm not sure how to say your name, so I'm gonna say hi, Abby. Welcome on in. The villain like milk, is that right? Have you been watching The Boys perchance or something? Seems like AI. What makes you think it's AI? Out of curiosity. We almost get this about probably 12 times a day every time we go live. Okay, I've never actually thought about this question. Does tea have a flavor? It just tastes like tea. I've never really thought about what it tastes like. Black tea is usually a lot more bitter. That's why people often add sugar to it to make it less bitter. I wouldn't say this one is very bitter, but yeah, it's hard to say, because I feel like it's just tea. If you've never had, but how do you explain what tea tastes like to someone who's never had tea? I've never had to think about this. Wow. You've actually stumped me as someone who's been drinking tea for decades now. I've never really thought about it. It's 4:30 p.m. How's this morning? Exactly. It's just ticked over 12 p.m. on my end, so I can't really be calling it morning over here either. So barely afternoon, but it is there. It is a Bulbasaur. Yes, it is. What do you guys call them? Pop vinyls. There's another word for them. Pop vinyls, Funko Pops. That's the one. I think the Americans call them Funko Pops. I don't actually know what the Brits call them, so I'll have to go into store and see what they call them. But in Australia and New Zealand, they're called pop vinyls rather than Funko Pops. Green tea can be very bitter as well. I know a lot of people don't like green tea, even if they drink black tea. Tea tastes like burnt caramel. Well, only if you have burnt caramel tea. There are actually genuinely flavor sim teas, like caramel teas. Thank you, Chad. Much appreciated. Brown bitter or sweet water? I guess brown bitter, I suppose. No. Black coffee has a much stronger taste, I would say. Black coffee, like espressos, they're very distinct. So I would not compare it to that. You just saw a pigeon wearing tiny invisible crops. That's so adorable. Oh my gosh. That's so cute. I wonder if they weighed them down. Is that how you were able to tell that they were wearing them? Because they weren't flying? Or I guess because of the material of these tiny invisible crocs. They're pretty light, right? And so maybe they would be able to fly with them. Maybe that's why they choose Crocs over any other brand as well. They might be onto something. I've never seen one with tiny invisible Crocs, so that's really sweet. I'll have to keep an eye out next time. Maybe they're more popular than I realize. Morning, Sharpa, or afternoon from here. Yeah, Funko Pops. There we go. I thought happiness started with H, but mine starts with U. Well, Chino, I'm glad that you're feeling happy. That's really, really great news, you know? Iced tea is the best on a very hot day. The Americans love their iced tea, but it's so sweet from what I've heard. I've never actually tried like a traditional American iced tea, so I have no idea what it actually is like, but I've heard such love for it. It is very different to the tea I am drinking, though. Please do not mistake iced tea and hot tea for a similar taste for sure. Earl Grey, thanks to Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Is that Star Trek? I must confess, I've never watched any Star Trek whatsoever. The only references I have are due to pop culture, so I'm assuming you're talking about the Picard, but I didn't know that they drank Earl Grey. I'm not a big fan of Earl Grey. Well, a lot of Earl Greys. There are some Earl Greys I like, but it has this very strong, I believe it's bergamot, is like this bitter orangey flavor, which I'm not as much of a fan of. Hi, Nut Warrior. Is that a design or the unpainted wall? So it's a brick, but it is it's not very well made wall. Where can you get the tea you're drinking in New Zealand? So it's literally just called black tea. J-Joy, you're from excuse me if I'm incorrect, but are you from America? Yes, you may enter the chat, innocent. Welcome on in. So I don't like it's just called black tea. And so there are so many brands that make black tea. Twinings is the one that comes up a lot, but this one is Yorkshire tea. And basically every country has their own black tea, except it's just not super popular in America. So here we go. So this is basically what happens. Usually it'll be either in a strainer, if you have what's called loose leaf, or you'll put it in a tea bag, which I can't see at the moment. Lipton. Lipton's another one that's very popular, and maybe more familiar due to a little green frog that drinks tea. So this is basically black tea, and a lot of people dry it and sell it in these boxes so that you can just make a little cup of tea. And then my one looks like this, but with a splash of milk in it as well. There we go. I've got this milky color tea. So I've never considered the fact that people have never had black tea before. There we go. There's an example of a tea bag with all the leaves in it. That one's even English breakfast. This is more like what my tea bag looks like. So you literally... Oh, you are from New Zealand. What the heck? Wait a second. So in that case, any old supermarket. Oh my gosh, did I forget that you're from down there? My bad. Sorry, J-Joy. If you mentioned it before, that's just my memory. I am getting old after all. But hey, you're from California. Hi, Nick. Just go into a supermarket, and then you'll even be able to find the exact one I'm having, Yorkshire tea. You don't actually have to buy it, but just the tea aisle. New Zealand has what's the big one in New Zealand? There's so many. There are a lot of Indian teas as well. So Ceylon, for example. Bell, that's the one I was thinking of. Thank you, Boba. That's legitimately the one I was thinking of. I could see the coloring and everything. But yes, Bell is super popular in New Zealand. Dilma, that's another one for sure. So you literally just go into the supermarket and you'll find a whole bunch of tea. And all of them often will just be a different type of black tea with different strengths. Some will be more bitter, some will be light, and so on and so forth. And so if you want to try tea, then you're in the right country. You know how much the New Zealanders like it. Funny, very funny. Okie dokie. Earl Grey is like tea with perfume. That is an incredible way to phrase it. I 100% agree. That it just, especially on the tongue, it's like ooh. I love the camera. Thank you. All in all, another brick in the wall. I know I skipped some things there, but I was trying to sip on my tea at the same time, so I was smooshing the lyrics. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the moon. I really hope to do it all so soon. Got me feeling like a cartoon. Hopefully you enjoyed that little parody. Hi, RW. So it's a brick indeed. Yeah, I've had a very chill morning, Rel. Nothing to really report. I just took it easy, did some hip stretches again. I'm going to have to start doing some strength exercises rather than just hip stretches because it's not really going to do much. Oh, thank you for the compliment on the overalls as well. You can see it's a very gloomy day today because I'm not very lit up, but it is good to be here. I'm feeling a lot more rested. I think I was getting a little bit burnt out. And so it's nice to kind of just take it easy last night, take it easy this morning, and just be here now with a lot more energy. Oscar says I always think about tomatoes and beans when I hear English breakfast. That's a good point. And like hash browns and sausages. Yeah, a full English breakfast. If one ever visits the UK, then they can order a full English breakfast with all of those kinds of things. I don't really find it that interesting, but I'm also a vegetarian. So the vegetarian English breakfasts are not as great. Nor other regular English breakfasts. Nonetheless, hi, Donald Trump. It's always nice to have the president in here. Lipton is dead, you say? Hey, Yorkshire. Yeah, that's what I've got. I'm going to try the red Yorkshire next, though, because everyone suggested I get the gold, but I want to try the red as a comparison. What leaf is used in black tea? Well, J-Joy, it's very simple. Black tea. I know that seems like a very reductive way of phrasing it, but it genuinely is just black tea. Like that's what it's called. And so there are different versions of black tea. So you can have like there's tea called Ceylon tea, which I think is kind of a tea, but something that I half learned. Honestly, I haven't really done a big deep dive on it, but the class actually taught me that that technically fruit teas are not teas. They're called tisanes because the only way to be able to have the phrase tea is if it is a black tea. And so it's basically just the same tea from the, here we go, Camellia sinensis plant. And so let's see if we can plant it. Let's see if we can see what it looks like in the wild. Camellia sinensis, Assam. The Assam is another one that's a lot more strong, I would say. So this, I mean, I've just put it in Google Images, so I don't know how accurate this is. But this is an example of a whole bunch of teas planted all around the place, and then they harvest it. And this one on the left looks more like a green tea, yeah. And so then they harvest the leaves, it gets all dried up, and then we steep that in hot water, and that's how we get the bittered flavored water, essentially. And it looks like here we have different versions. So one leaf and how they end up in the different types of tea. So black tea is the most common one. Oh, green tea is from the same leaf. I actually didn't consider that, but that does make sense, I suppose. So we got fermentation happening to get the black tea, whereas the green tea maybe not so much. I'd have to actually click on this. Dare I do it? Not at the moment. Maybe if we continue the tea talk, I can look into it. Gay tea, yeah, that's exactly how I became gay. I drank too much tea, you know how it is. Twinings is pretty good as well. Yeah, I really like Twinings myself. Twinings was my go-to before I switched to an Australian brand called T2. T2 is very expensive, but it was my go-to. It was my my favorite one. Lipton is shit for hot tea, but passable ice. Ah, is that right? Okay. I actually can imagine that because people talk about Lipton iced tea. So I hear it in the vocab, or the memory rather. Lipton is apparently owned by PepsiCo. That doesn't surprise me. Hi, Srinath. G'day to you. Okay, catching up. I never tried milk tea before. Yeah, well, you might not like it. Yorkshire is the best big name on the shelf, you reckon? I feel like I'm going to go and do a little bit of tea tasting to find my go-to. Because like I said, my go-to was T2 and now I don't have T2 so much. Your skin looks dry. Well, it shouldn't. So that's unfortunate. You're at the awkward age where you should be old enough to start forgetting things, but still young enough that you still care. Adorable. Tetleys. Yes, I have seen Tetleys as well, but I haven't tried it. Hi, Peter Griffin. What would you like to experience for the first time again? Ooh. Probably like primary school. I liked primary school. I enjoyed learning. Isn't that lame? I just want to go back and you know, do my ABCs and learn how to write and learn the basics of maths, how to tell the time. And do you know what? I actually think that I might do this later in the year. I have a game that I've been wanting to play for literally years on this channel, and I think I've finally figured out how to do it. It's an old CD-ROM game back when we used to actually use CD-ROMs in the PC. It's an edutainment game from the Learning Company, and it's what I grew up on. And so I think that when I come back from my summer holiday, that we might do like, depending on where we are with our other games. So we're thinking August, essentially. I've been thinking about doing what I would dub as like a back to school, essentially. And we go through primary school. I don't think we'll do any high school edutainment because I don't know any games aimed at it. But I have the Learning Company, the Clue Finders, and Reader Rabbit, who was the preceded the Clue Finders, and they have kindergarten to 6th grade, and so I've been thinking we might do a little back to school thing. So watch this space, basically. Like, Meg, thank you so much for the compliment on my voice as well. That's very kind. Yes, I am a second, not even a second, several seconds behind everything. Hi from India. Hello, salut as well. Oh, thank you for the compliment on the red hair as well. Your smile is shining brightly. I feel much more bright today. Yesterday, I rolled out of bed, rushed upstairs to get everything organized, and I burnt out quick, but I feel a lot more chill today. Go take a nice walk. Well, it's a little bit gloomy today. I'm concerned it's going to rain, but you're right. I didn't go for a walk this morning. Usually I try to do one walk a day with my Pokemon dailies, admittedly. I still play Pokemon Go, and so I probably should go for a walk, admittedly. I'm vegetarian. I love eating breakfast pork sausage. Really? Well, there we go. I feel like I'm not really fussy about people's labels. So, for example, I know someone who's a vegetarian, but they eat specifically mussels and what's the other one? Mussels and oysters. Whereas a lot of vegetarians wouldn't consider that vegetarian, but it's you just eat what suits you, you know. Good morning, lounge. Gold, this is for the tea. Gold, kia ora from New Zealand. We love our Kiwis over here, considering I am one. And then we have the Australians. G'day to you as well. Okay, good morning. Gold is better than red, but definitely try for yourself. Exactly, because I've been told by everyone that gold is better, but I actually don't remember what red tastes like. I only got this one as my, now that I've moved to the UK, I needed something in the cupboard, and I've been drinking a lot of it. So I am happy with gold, but I'll need to get the red to compare. Why was your first YouTube video only 8 seconds? Because it's a masterpiece and that's all it needed to be. You've watched it. You know that it's perfection. Assam and Darjeeling. I forgot about Darjeeling. Exactly right. Never knew tea was so racist. Yeah, exactly. Look at it. Do you know what they're even missing? Red tea. So this one here says white tea. We've got black tea, but then they're good. They're not just lumping everything in as black. They're making sure that they have the delineation with the dark tea. But then yellow tea. Oh my gosh, my goodness. Oolong, you can't even say that anymore. Tea is so racist. You can't say this one anymore. That's ridiculous. And then the green tea. Oh my gosh, that is. That one I haven't heard in a long time, I'll tell you what. But they're even missing red tea on there. But I suppose that one's more for the Chinese in particular. That was actually the first time I heard of red tea. I did a school project as this was an acting project, but I did a school project for someone, and because they were students, they couldn't afford to pay us, but the girls gave me some red tea from where they're from, which was from China, and they're like, oh, it's red tea, and I was like, what the frick is red tea? Apparently red tea is just black tea, but it was cute that they called it red instead of black. Tea leaves burnt are black tea, which aren't burnt I used to make green tea. And then semi-burnt are white tea. Thank you so much, Etta. That's really, really helpful information. Makes sense from that tiny graph as well. My favorite tea is turmeric. Not a lot of people try the turmeric. Turmeric is apparently very, very good for you as well. So good on you. And cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg. Yeah, that's a nice little spicy tea. You could look into chai. So chai is from India. Chai just literally means tea, but they often mix a lot of the spices that you're explaining, but with black tea as well. So it's super, super flavorsome. I love it. Hi, Arif. Chinese, I was born on the wrong side of that family, you reckon? Yes, I've had braces in answer to your question, Zaya. Do you also drink coffee? Yes, I love coffee as well, but I don't have coffee in my house. I find coffee a very social thing for me, or the reason I'm hesitating on whether or not it's a social thing is because I go and drink coffee by myself. I like it as a bit of a splurge, I suppose. So I enjoy someone else making my coffee rather than myself making my coffee. I don't have a machine. I don't have a plunger coffee. I don't have any coffee that I make myself. So once, maybe twice a week. Let's be real, it's probably more. But I like to go to the cafe and get myself my oat milk flat white is what I usually drink. But I also am very happy with espresso, a long black. Oof, so good. Which is different to an Americano, but I do like my coffee. Have you tried the most expensive coffee in the world? Oh, let me see if I can remember its name. It sounds like coffee. Copy la. It's meant to be a trivia fact that I remember. Copy la something. Copy. No. Do you guys know? Luwak. That's why I couldn't get it, because I was saying the wrong syllable. Coffee luwak. Yeah, so I know of it just because I love trivia, and so it's one of those things where trivia questions come up, and coffee luwak comes up a fair bit, but I've never tried it because, one, I probably couldn't afford it. Hi, Cosmac. Good to see you. Greetings, being of Earth. Ooh, are you one of the aliens that just came by with the alien documents that got released? Suspicious. Good morning, Dunham. How you going? If only they made small boxes of tea bags, then you could try them without having over 1,000 bags in the pantry. I'll have a look into it. We'll see what we have. Of all things, primary school. What would you want to experience for the first time? Hello. Good to see you guys. Hello from Texas. Oh my gosh, I got people from all around the world. How exciting. Stop manipulating me. Always. Anyways, manipulation is just a word. It doesn't necessarily mean something bad or good. But your manipulation is with your aura. Ooh, okay. I'll take that. It's good to see you again, Drake. I hope you're doing well. I will certainly try to reduce my manipulation, but my gosh, is it hard? Or are you manipulating me to say that I am manipulating, or that I'm not manipulating? Oh, now I'm getting confused. Who's the gaslighter and who's the gaslightee? Don't be embarrassed. I'm already doing that for you. Thank you, burritos. Much appreciated. Her positivity is hard to relate to. Well, you don't have to relate to it. You can just enjoy it in general. What's a CD again? That's the one. Yeah, mollusks have no central nervous system. This person was saying how they just see them as growths of the sea. I recently learned that the starter Pokemon and Gen 1 Pokemon were actually designed to be easy, medium, and hard because of the first 3 gym types. It makes sense. I know a lot of people say that based on the gyms at the beginning as well. But ultimately, you just got to choose which one you like. I've never thought about the hard mode other than the idea of which one is more. I think I've looked at it more as min-maxing at the beginning, but I suppose you could look at it in the reverse, where it can, if you build up your Charmander early, then it can help you later on as well. I would like to go back and play some of the OG Pokemon games. I don't think I've ever really finished it. I had Pokemon Red on one of my first cell phones because people were able to Bluetooth it. That's another one. We used to Bluetooth our Pokemon Red to each other's phones. Isn't that ridiculous? Hey, enjoy your first kiwi when you get around to it. Do you like bread? This sounds like a gotcha. I have to not say this word because I'm not sure if it's a gotcha. Are you in Manhattan? I understand the confusion, but no, I am in the UK. Red tea usually, yes, well, they were not giving me rooibos. So yes, rooibos does translate to red bush, but this person was from China. So it is highly this is still about red boys. It can also refer to Asian black tea. Exactly. See, that's the one that it was for this girl in particular. Hibiscus tea is a tart cranberry-like herbal beverage brewed from hibiscus subderrifa flowers, enjoyed globally, both hot and cold. It's naturally caffeine-free. There we go. Rich in antioxidants and vitamin C. Lovely. I'm in the Spider-Man universe. It's true. Coffee is a drug, you say? You're an addict? Well, today I learned, I suppose. I'll try that tea. Is my favorite tea because it's a slight pepper taste, but it's liquid. Enjoy, Jay. Mateo, what is 1 minus 1? When you say Mateo, that was just reminding me of Pokemon again. Hi, Maverick, how you going? No, I haven't tried those tea flowers, I don't think, Boba. It doesn't ring a bell. Favorite dessert would probably be tiramisu, or just a classic brownie. I love brownies. I often, when I go get my coffee, get a little slice of brownie as well. It's just a little treat, you know. I don't drink or really enjoy tea, but the mint tea I had in Morocco, damn. I've tried mint tea before, but it wasn't great. But I can imagine if they're doing it frequently, maybe like in Morocco. I don't know if Moroccans are big mint tea drinkers, but I could imagine it being better than whatever I had. I used to drink artichoke tea. Wow. So, and that's because I had alcoholic hepatitis for a bit, but it tastes like ass. Yeah, I was going to say, I can't imagine artichoke tea being very tasty. Like, I love artichokes, underappreciated little vegetable there, but I can't imagine it as a tea. You've made me curious, though. Hopefully, I don't know. I'm not familiar with alcoholic hepatitis, but I'm hoping that it helped you out and that you said you had. So whatever it is, I hope that it's not afflicting you anymore. Is texture or taste more important in food for you? Taste, I would say. There are a lot of textures I don't like, but not enough to make me not eat it at all. So I'd say taste is more important. Maybe I'm missing something, but I only liked iced coffee and iced tea. No, you don't have to be taught. You can have your preferences, Cosmic Voyager. You don't have to switch something just because everyone else does it. You just enjoy your iced tea. Don't feel like you need to have a hot tea. If you haven't converted by now, then don't worry about it. That being said, I am a believer that there are a lot of people who don't like certain beverages, and that's because they haven't had a good one. So, example, whiskeys, wines, gins. I think a lot of people who don't like, and usually it is alcoholic, but coffee is another example. People who don't like these things often haven't had the type of preparation or flavors that suit their taste, because there's such a wide range of variety within all of these beverages. Tea as well is another example. And so considering there's so much variation in the flavor, I really do believe that there's almost something for anyone, but probably that the first taste they had was not for them, or it was bad, and so therefore it just makes them think, oh, well, I don't like wine because I had terrible wine. But there's so much variation in it. There's no way that you can't like it unless you're not an alcohol drinker, of course. So that's my little hot take. Tea does stain your teeth. That's why you gotta have a bottle of water alongside anytime you drink your tea. You're a Gen 1 Pokemon Slayerzard. Thank you. Watching from the Philippines. Hello. Probably the first time I rode a bike down a really steep hill. Oh, and you go really fast. I hope you didn't fall off. Well, you probably didn't if that's why you want to relive it. Just that feeling of adrenaline. So casual burritos. Are you a bit of an adrenaline junkie, are you? Like, do you like going to theme parks and whatnot? J Joy says the ocean is very strange. There's a sea slug that exists that takes the abilities of anything it eats. What the heck? Is that a real life Pokemon? For example, it can eat algae and steals the ability of photosynthesis. What? We're talking about aliens. We got the aliens freaking here on Earth, or rather in the ocean. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Ekans, Arbok, and Muck are all just written backwards, aren't they? Cute fit. Thank you, Pigeon. Hi, Harris. You are enjoyed globally. Thank you too much. Pro tip with all this tea talk, you can use old tea bags to grow seeds in. Jeepers, I've never thought about that. I will have to look into growing some seeds, I think. I feel like actually up here would be a good little place for me to have a little plant shelf. I don't think I can have it behind me, but I have a skylight, which is where this kind of light is coming from. And so it gets a lot of good amount of sun where it's not too harsh when it comes in. So I actually do think that I could grow plants up here. You know how it be. I forgot chamomile. I love chamomile. You are correct. The sleepiest of all teas. See, we got a lot of different types of teas. Cheesecake is a pie, you reckon? Ooh, okay. I like cheesecake occasionally. Cheesecake's pretty good. You guys do have good choice on the cheesecake. I'll give you that much. But yeah, I could see it as a pie. And the best one, yeah, I can agree with this. Cheesecake's great. And again, a lot of variation there. I've never seen an artichoke in store in New Zealand. I would love to try it. Artichoke is, so if you are going to get an artichoke in New Zealand, you're more likely to find it like pickled in a jar. I have eaten artichoke in New Zealand, so I know that they can be found, but a lot of people don't really know what they're looking for. I've never seen an artichoke should I say never? I do have an image now, but maybe that's from Google Images. But artichoke in the hand basically is very difficult to find. They usually come in tinned cans or jars, so you will have to look in the tinned can aisle rather than in the veggie aisle. Okay. You know about Indian tea test? I don't know about a test in India, no, but you're welcome to share, Amit. Okay, Google. I recommend watching a short on them brewing. Blooming tea balls or flowering tea are hand-tied bundles of dried tea leaves, typically green or white tea, wrapped around edible flowers such as jasmine, rose, or chrysanthemum. When steeped in hot water, the ball unfurls, creating a visual bloom that serves as an aesthetic centerpiece, usually offering a delicate and floral taste. That sounds beautiful. I will look that up. People really don't know about whiskey, you know. And I thought that I knew about whiskey, and then I did a Scotland tour last year, and I was like, oh my gosh, I knew nothing about whiskey. This is a term that I have coined, but I don't know if it has existed before I came up with it. My tours on in Scotland made me come across what I dub daytime whiskey. And don't get me wrong, you can enjoy a whiskey at any time of the day. Oh, but like a lunchtime whiskey. Oh, that's right. A summer whiskey. So basically something that you would have on a hot day, right? It is a beer drinking or cider drinking day. This is for those who drink alcohol, obviously. So I guess the equivalent would be like a cold, refreshing soda, or maybe an iced tea, speaking of tea. And I had no idea that there were whiskeys that can also fill that niche. It's just super fresh and crisp and refreshing. And it might not be cooler, but you can put an ice cube in it. And I was like, damn, now I've learned about summer whiskeys, essentially. I don't know if that's a term, but that's the term I was using. Daytime, like a barbecue whiskey, essentially, but not to be confused with smoked whiskeys. Anyway, I love my whiskey. Yeah, it's like 5 o'clock somewhere, but no, not like it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Like it's 12 o'clock somewhere whiskey, where you have it at lunch, you have it during the day, you have it on a hot day even. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning, everyone. Good to have you here. Granny used to make chocolate pie. Very nice, Dunham. And lemon meringue. Yum. Yeah, handmade from scratch as well. Well, have you taken on the mantle? Can you make these instead of Granny nowadays? I had a good weekend, Harris. I hope you also had a lovely Mother's Day. Thank you very much. Can't stand whiskey. Yeah, it's not for everyone. I forget the name. It's pretty much a Pokemon. We'll have to think about this one. Kind of hate roller coaster says burritos. I'm going to go fast. I want my hands on the handlebars. I suppose so. I think that it gets to a point where if the hill is too far, then I start freaking out and I'll probably total myself because I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But obviously for most people you just go fast and then you even out at once you get to the bottom. But that hill, if it gets too long, I cannot stand it. Type faster. You guys did well to type faster. I am not a truck driver. You talk too much? Well, I suppose I should stop live streaming in that case, or just, be silent. Then I will have even more AI allegations. Is that better? You guys just want me to not talk. Okay, what is this one? All these names. I'm not familiar with these names or why they're being said, Kennedy, but nonetheless. I want to try an artichoke raw. I'm not sure about pickle, but do you think they sell them at crop markets? I'm sure they would. So first things first, Boba, can you share or if I look up blooming tea, maybe it'll come up. But was there a specific name that I've forgotten? I think that blooming tea will be fine. And then we'll look up artichokes as well. You go on tour? No, definitely not. I am not a superstar whatsoever. Thank you so much for the faith, but no. I'm just a girl on the internet trying to hang out with some good people, and we're doing well today, actually. Thank you, mods, for all your hard work, by the way. Breakfast whiskey is best whiskey, exactly. The breakfast of champions. Whiskey. Summer whiskey means you're leagues ahead of most who drink. Yeah, this is why we don't like to talk about alcohol too much, because then you'll understand how much I drink alcohol, although I've been pretty good. For those who do not know, I've been doing a MAYrathon this month. We're 11 days in, so basically streaming every single day of May. Not for fun. Last year I did this concept to fundraise to get me to the UK, and look how well that turned out. A year later, I'm literally living here, so that's very exciting. But this year, I kind of wanted to do it because I went through this process of moving countries and feeling not very settled or in a rhythm or in a routine. And I went, well, what if we use May to kind of find that rhythm and find that routine? And already within 11 days, I found what days I like to stream in the morning, what days I like to stream in the afternoon. And I've been building what I think will shape up to be our ongoing routine for live streams. So like now, just hanging out with you guys and not doing anything too crazy. And then we'll play some games later and so on and so forth. And through that, I've also found time to edit. So if you guys are not following on the socials, please make sure to go check those out so you can see all of my little clips that I've been editing. And so that's been a lot of fun. And what else did I want to say? That's right. And then also finding routine in terms of health. And so making sure I set time aside to actually cook dinner, because that's something sometimes I am a little bit slack on. And finding my daily walks when I fit that in. Now that I am getting old, I have to now fit in my yoga stretching sessions. And I'm hoping by the end of the month I'll be so into routine that I'll find where I can add some strength exercises as well, because I want to get swole this year. I want to get freaking more massive than I already am. And so it's been really, really good. Thank you for doing your part. It's been really good, and that's exactly what why I wanted to do this MAYrathon. And so I've set out to basically discover what works for me and what doesn't, and I've done that within the first third of the month, so I'm very excited.
I'm doing my part.
And thank you guys for joining, and especially on Twitch. we've had such great ad monetization this month, so that's really cool to see too. So it's gonna help me continue live streaming, and then hopefully we'll follow suit on
I'm doing my part.
on YouTube soon as well. Hi, Akami. Good to have you back. Cute smart. Thank you, guys. You guys are very sweet. Good afternoon, Ian. Okay, catching up. Day 2, you're saying you have nice tea. Thank you, Ty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi from Turkey. Hi, Zini. Having whiskey now to kill the bacteria from my dinner the day out too long. Science. I don't like chamomile because it gets all gloopy as it cools. Yeah, I hate cleaning out my chamomile strainer personally. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Hallo Barbie, du bist wunderschön und natürlich aus wie schön heutzutage sehr, sehr schwer wie du Natur. Vielen Dank, Dankeschön. Okay, but yes, apparently it's known as tea cream. That's disgusting, by the way. That is not how it should be called. It sounds like, like a cream pie. So, no, gross. I'm not trying to reproduce Granny's pies. Had a similar at cafes, though. Hopefully near you so you can get them whenever you want. You're sad? Always. All this tea talk is unlocking the most random history facts in my memory, like the Boston Tea Party. The Boston Tea Party is one that I think that they learn about in America a lot, but I will confess that I only know very little about the Boston Tea Party. They threw all the tea in the river, right? And was it the Hudson River, I want to guess? Wait, is the Hudson River even... No, it would be the Boston Harbor, because it's the Boston Tea Party. Never mind. But I don't know why they threw the tea there. Hi, Sean. You came in at the right moment. Came in at the right moment. Anyhow, disclaimer, Clementine does not condone alcohol if it is illegal in your country. And genuinely, I believe that because when I was flying on my travels, long story short, ended up in Qatar, and I had alcohol in my bag, a whiskey, funnily enough, from New Zealand. And I was like, well, I guess this is about to get confiscated. But luckily for me, the time I spent in Qatar, because I wasn't meant to be in Qatar, it was meant to be just in the airport. But luckily for me, they kept my checked-in luggage at the airport, and I just had my hand luggage. If I had my whiskey in my hand luggage, then they would have had to take my whiskey, but I managed to have the whiskey. And that's actually almost done. I had some a few days ago, actually. I was like, ooh, I feel like a whiskey. So it's almost done. Almost gotten through all of that. MAYrathon. Yeah, I'm really happy. I just feel like I'm really finding my rhythm, which is really beautiful. And thank you guys for helping that journey. It's nice having you around every day. Thank you, Lounge. Thank you. Yeah, I think that having different times really helps. I think if I was trying to do my IRL, not IRL streaming. If I was trying to do my live streaming at 8 a.m. every single day, I think that would probably be a little bit tiresome. So I really like having the video games to kind of break it up, where it makes it feel like I'm having heaps and heaps of breaks rather than being really strict about being live at the exact same time. So like today I went live at 12 instead of 8, and just those extra few hours, it's like, oh man, like I get the whole morning off. It's awesome. Good afternoon, Elisa. Hope you're well. Revving up the ad rev. Yeah, it's actually genuinely really cool, because I think that's kind of what I want to work towards. For those who are new to the class, I've been full-time live streaming on Twitch for a while now, and basically the community or the class were able to fund my living situation, and so we had a lot of events that helped make paying rent possible. But since my move, I basically have very few overhead costs, so I'm not really focusing so much on making money doing this. Like, it's nice, don't get me wrong, it's really nice, but my hope was always that if I were to continue streaming live streaming full time, it makes me feel more comfortable if we have more people spending, maybe $5 a month rather than fewer people spending more than that a month. And so ads revenue really helps because it's a free way for people to support content creators rather than you having to fork out $5 a month. And so that's been really, really cool. And it's put a lot less pressure on me. It's put a lot less pressure on you guys. And I just feel like I've been enjoying myself and feeling more willing to try new things as well, which is really cool, like multi-streaming on YouTube. And it's just cool. It's just really cool. I'm just pleased. I'm just a happy little jappy. Forget the Boston Tea Party. Let's talk about Boston cream pies. Now, it's very funny that you say that because I do know that there actually is like a donut that's called a Boston cream pie. So, there's a reason why cream pie is a euphemism after all, because let me show you guys. Ba-ba-da-ba. Okay, good. I didn't put Boston in front of that, so I wasn't sure what would come up. But I guess it kind of is like a cheesecake again, you know? You know what I mean? Okay, so it's protesting tea tax. And yet people don't even really drink tea over in the Americas anyhow. I promise they're terrible, but I'm a stranger on the internet, and yet I still believe you. So that's quite all right. Okay. How's my Kiwi bestie? Hi, princess. If you're talking about me, I'm doing well. If you're talking about someone else, I don't know. Sorry, we don't all chat all the time. On the Class Talk, IRLs can be called field trips. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Okay, I am scrolling. Literally 8 a.m. Well, good morning to you. There we go. Oh my gosh, speaking of $5, $3.
Toast to streams without too many viewers so I get more attentions, Klim smile.
Exactly, that's the one. Thank you so much. That is very sweet. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, see, and now we got an extra $3 to help us out. I'm glad the schedule is good for you. I was worried you were overbooking. Well, I was. Last week, I figured that out very quickly, though. I had a few days where I was supposed to stream in the morning and also in the afternoon. And then I just went, nope, definitely not. And so this week, I have not overbooked myself. I just went, I don't want to do what I'm going to do. So it's been really awesome. And I've been feeling really good about it. And hopefully today, just my kind of chillax nature is an indication of that, you know? What's a Boston bun? I don't know. Oh, yes, Cosmic, thank you again. Really, really appreciate it. Hi, Dan. The results for cream pie are far more innocent than I would have expected. I checked it first. Don't get me wrong. Okay, so Boston bun is a spice bakery style bun common in Australia and New Zealand. I've never heard of it. So it's got a thick layer of coconut icing, often served sliced and buttered with tea. Damn. Okay, all right. They don't drink tea that much now since they kicked the upper class Brits out. Is that what it was? Because can someone remind me what year the Boston Tea Party was? Never mind, I have it open here. 1773. And then the independent... that was 1776, right? Yes, because it's 250 years of American history. So basically, if the Brits had won the or if the revolutionists were not successful and America was still a colony of Britain, then perhaps they would still be drinking tea today. But they got rid of the Brits and now no tea over in America, or little tea, I should say. I physically hate adverts. I usually always change channels on radio's TV stream during them, but I stay for yours. Amazing. Well, Sean, if you can afford, if you're on Twitch, a lot, I should say, because I know that you found the stream through YouTube, so no expectations. If you're on Twitch a lot, I do recommend Twitch Turbo. It's so good. It is the cost of 2, and this is #not sponsored. It is the cost of 2 subscriptions, but then you just get no ads whatsoever. Twitch Turbo is genuinely a very good service in my opinion, but only if you watch a lot of Twitch streams. Okay, let me catch up. Cheeseburger, please. Unfortunately, this is not a McDonald's, but perhaps we can whip something up anyway. Cash App? No, I don't have a Cash App. I just have like PayPal. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for the gifted sub to Sean. And now Sean doesn't have to worry about ads. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you guys for the follows as well. I love whipped cream for so many things. Have you used the whipped sunscreen? Do I dare ask? Whipped sunscreen? That seems very counterintuitive. Have you guys ever had those donuts when they're standard ring shaped? Okay, so they're standard ring shape with a traditional hole through the middle, but they're still cream filled. Oh my gosh, like in the loop, basically. That sounds really good. Yeah, I could imagine that being devilish for sure. When is your next trip? Mid-June. So basically, I am doing a very Clementine-coded 30th birthday where I go on a solo trip to Copenhagen, Denmark for 3 days is how long I'm going for. I'm going to be playing Pokemon Go. I spent way too much money on this trip and I'm so excited. It's genuinely, when I look back in 10 years and go, what did I do for my 30th birthday? I'm going to be so happy. I'm gonna really, I went to Copenhagen to play Pokemon. And so it's gonna be really nice. I'm gonna explore Copenhagen for a day. I'll play Pokemon for half a day, and then I'll catch up with a friend as well, and it'll be lovely. So that is my next trip, the Copenhagen Pokemon Go. But then after, so I've got a month still before I head off, and that's why we are playing some Red Dead Redemption. Speaking of segues, so we're gonna play some Red Dead Redemption today. I'm not really in a rush, though. That's why I started a little bit earlier than I did last week. So last week I was starting at 1 o'clock and then would yap for ages like we are now. But today I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed, so we won't rush into the game. But we are going to play some Red Dead later. Okay. Yeah, my accent's a little bit strange. Exactly right. I'm not familiar with Lily J, sorry. I don't know this person. Yeah, so the Boston bun is a cream-filled donut indeed. Okay. The colonies were protesting tax from England without representation in the government. Cheers, Cosmic. There we go. Boston buns are large pink bun figures with raisins. Oh, I know the ones you're talking about, but I never thought about what I call those. Yeah, Americans love their iced tea. We spoke about that very briefly earlier. Boston Tea Party was arguably the start of the revolution. Well, they managed to end it pretty quickly then, right? 3 years? Because Independence Day is marking the 1776, like July 4, 1776, which I assume, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not American. I don't really know American history. I didn't learn it in school. The only reason we learn it is because Americans like media, basically, and they like to tell us their history. And so is that supposed to mark the end of the war, essentially? Because 3 years isn't so bad, right? Maybe I'm saying that a little bit too flippantly, but I guess I'm just recognizing some of the wars that we have going on in our on our planet now have lasted longer than that, with even worse what's the word I'm looking for? Weaponry. And so it's kind of crazy. It is exciting. Thank you, Elisa. I will have a wonderful time. And then I'm going to Spain later on. Ooh. I was going to say maybe I can detour to Italy, but I think that it will be a little bit too far because I'm going back to Denmark in August. So I was like, ooh, maybe I can detour. But I think I will have to save Italy for a future one. It's going to be great. Okay, so whipped sunscreen is sunscreen in pressurized can like whipped cream, and it's very fun to apply to each other. I know some people use the spray sunscreen because a lot of people hate applying sunscreen. So yeah, I suppose having whipped sunscreen would work. That's kind of fun. I get it. I'm 42. Welcome, crazy. Okay, so this donut that's cream filled but with a traditional style is like a dream donut. I don't even care what donuts like that, but it blew my mind. No, I can imagine that being very tasty. You have to get a can of Copenhagen in Copenhagen, even though you don't use tobacco. You just have a can from there would be really cool. What the heck is a can of Copenhagen? Like you say, I don't consume tobacco, so I literally have no idea what you're talking about. Yes, yeah, you got it, Centipede. You can call me Clem for short. I'm a New Zealander rather than someone who is from England, MC, but I live here now. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on in, raiders. How was your stream, Ms. J? It is a pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much for choosing this stream. If you haven't come across me before, hi, I'm X Clementine. You can call me Clem. I am a just chatting streamer, and we basically just riff off the class, off the community, and so we don't have any particular topic for today, mainly because we're just kind of easing into the day, and we're going to play some Red Dead Redemption later. Gaming is not the bulk of my content, though. Don't be confused. Chatting is definitely our go-to, but if you want to stick around, we will be playing some Red Dead. I've only spent about I would say 10 hours because that's more accurate, but in terms of how far that has got us, it's more like 5 hours. So we're not very far in whatsoever. So no major spoilers really, since it's so early in the game. We're only in chapter 2. But otherwise, I just like yapping away. And so at the moment, we are talking about the Boston Tea Party, apparently, and just American history in general. So it is a pleasure. Oh, you're so tired. Well, Ms. J, don't feel like you have to stick around. Thank you so much for raiding on in. Very much appreciated. And we'll have to make sure to come hang out in your channel in the future so that you don't have to subject yourself to staying up any longer than you already have. Please get some rest. But if you are hanging around, like I said, we are just mucking around, basically. Oh gosh, why is this being so laggy? There we go. And the raiders, I will snooze the ads for you. Ads will kind of turn up in the next 5 minutes, but we've pushed that back while you're here. But yeah, thank you so much. And a little happy birthday as well. Welcome on in, everyone. It's such a pleasure to have you here. So yeah, we're just mucking around. We're just chatting away. So if you want to chat away as well, then hang out. Ooh, episodes. What are you thinking about episodes? But yeah, genuinely, Ms. J, you can just join in at your own pace, but I know what it's like after a stream. Yes, please do. Thank you again for the raid. I will make sure to come pop into your stream in the future. Very, very much appreciated. I genuinely. But yes, get some rest. Okay, so you sound English but posh. Yeah, so I'm not actually English. I'm from New Zealand. Oh, that's a good segue for the raiders as well. Hi! I'm a New Zealander. I lived in Australia for 10 years and now I am living in the UK. I've only been here for 2 months, so it's very new. My accent's weird. That's all there is to the lore there. There's definitely more, but we'll keep it nice and succinct today. Okay, so 4th of July 1776 is the anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Thank you very much for that clarification. But yes, I am now, in answer to your question, MC, I am now living in England, but I'm down south, all the way down in Southampton is where I found myself, mainly because I have a friend here who was letting me live in their house. So that is why I have the brick wall behind me, because that is basically where I've been shunned into my existence, where it's like, you're allowed to stay here, but please do not bother me. So I've been up in the attic. Some British still do not recognize US independence and call it the colonies. Really? I feel like anyone who's still holding that belief, they're really holding that belief. It's been 250 years, goddammit. Do you know the fight between Rottnest and WA? I do not. The only thing I know is that you're talking about Australia, and I know Rottnest Island have the beautiful little quokka, so that's all I know. I did not know there was a fight between them, though. And happy birthday, Ghoulie, as well. Copenhagen is chewing tobacco, but it comes in a can. That's where I'm a little bit confused. One of the reasons England was going to tax the US was to build another navy. Oh, okay. So to protect the US colonies from the French privateers. Gotcha. The French then poured so much money into sticking it to the British, they bankrupted their nation, and it directly led to the French Revolution. Damn. That's all the time of history that I want to learn more about. I find history really, really fascinating, but I'm very new to that fascination and curiosity, I suppose. I think that actually being in the UK helped stimulate that somewhat, because it is a lot older in terms of modern civilization than what I've been used to over in New Zealand. And there's a lot of older history in Europe as well with these old castles. It's very, very cool. So I think it started spurring my interest. We've made some jokes on the stream about how my Roman Empire is about to become the Roman Empire, but not yet. I'm not that far back in history yet. Cool. Hello. I have watched the Harry Potter movies, yes, but I haven't watched the remake that they've just done, and I don't really want to support that one either. I don't know what Buckfast is yet. Boba, I'm not familiar with that. Currently only 30 minutes to the first episode. That's right. That's what that was. Hi, Brett. Hello. I'm not from the UK, but I live in the UK as well. I'm down in Southampton. Oh, cheers. I did have it up on my tabs. I have a few tabs open, but I haven't gotten the blooming tea yet. In another 20 years, you'll be nostalgic and looking up compilations of these very ad rolls. Adorable. Hi, Silver. Okay, when to decide to transition? Basically, it's been something that I've been feeling for a while, and it's just good to find who you are. You know what I mean? There's not really one pivotal moment, if you know what I mean, crazy. I do have one question. If someone wanted to move to Europe, what would be the best way to go from America, at least? I don't really know. I'm very sorry, because basically for me, I am from New Zealand, and so the reason why I've chosen the UK is because I want to travel Europe, and the visa situation is much easier going to UK than it is going to Europe. So I don't know what the visa situations are from the Americas. And so I think that's probably where you would have to start. Are you going over as a student? Are you going as a worker? And I know my friend was applying for jobs for months before she got one in Denmark, is where she is. And so she is a skilled worker, and someone sponsored her. And so I do know that it would be quite difficult. But for me, being a part of the colonies, or the Commonwealth rather, the colonies, it's a little bit easier to be in the UK. So I do apologize that I don't really have very good advice for you. But I also will let the Twitch chat know that we are about to hit an ad break. It'll only be a few minutes. It is a free and easy way to support the channel. I'll still be here. We're still yapping away, and then we'll play some games later. So thank you very much for supporting, and we'll see you on the other side. I love your sweater. Thank you, Silva. Very much appreciated. I'm sailing to Ireland and England. Should be around those parts. Hell yeah, that's so exciting. Hi, Pizza. Hi, Adrian. Of course, Silva, you do think. You want to be my wife? Yes! Yes, that sounds exciting, Vanilla. That sounds very, very exciting. Are you going to move to my country, or shall I move to yours? Let's chat this out. Yes, that sounds amazing. 1,000 times yes. Is this just chatting about history? Not intentionally. Basically, we just kind of headed towards history because that's just where the conversation headed to. Buckfuss is caffeinated red wine, you say? Okay. The Harry Potter TV series is later this year. I think giving the entire season to each book is awesome. I can understand how people would be excited for that, but I am not one who is very intrigued. I guess Harry Potter is my childhood. I'm not so interested in it. I think that I would be more interested in seeing newer shows be created rather than harping on the same motifs over and over again. This isn't even to do with J.K. Rowling at this point. This is just like more of a recognition of, okay, so you're just not innovative whatsoever to create a new TV series. And I guess the idea would be to try and appeal to a younger audience and a new audience, and the parents who grew up on Harry Potter would now get their kids to watch the TV series instead of the movies. But I'm just not so convinced it's going to do a great job. That, like I said, even if you take out any of your personal beliefs on it, I just don't think they're going to do a good job. But maybe I'll be wrong. I miss Germany. It felt like there were castles in every direction. Yeah, I really want to go back to Germany as well. Okay, Buckfast tonic wine is a 15% ABV caffeinated fortified wine. Okay, produced by Benedictine monks at Buckfast Abbey in Devon, England. No, I've never heard about this. Okay, well, I'll add it to the list. I think that I will have to probably put that, you know what, I'll put it in my shopping list, shall I? Buckfast. Is it called Buckfast wine? Oh my gosh. I don't know if that picked up on the microphone, but I just heard the loudest sneeze in my entire life. Do you know how I know it's the loudest sneeze in my entire life? Because where the frick did it come from unless it was that bloody noisy? Like, what kind of passage sound wave was it passing through for me to hear them? That also makes me concerned that they can hear me. You know what I mean? Anyway, it did come from behind the wall. Someone's sneaking around there and stirring up all the dust. Are you AI? Yes. All right intelligence. Yeah. Average intelligence. That. It doesn't have to be all right intelligence. Yeah, I'm AI. I'm average intelligence. Google continued, despite its origin, it is culturally infamous in Scotland, particularly Glasgow, where it is associated with the Neds, or hooligans, street drinking, and antisocial behaviour. I do want to go back to Glasgow, so maybe for more authenticity, I can have it up there. Hola, how you going? I'm forcing my nephew to read books. Awesome. I think that it is even in a lot of our generation, that a lot of people are reading much less than probably they used to. And so I think that it is something that a lot of young people are moving away from, especially with things like social media and scrolling and all of this short attention span. So I think if you can teach good habits, and I'm not saying that they have to love reading, it's more about the spillover effect of being able to focus for longer periods of times. And I think that reading can help with that kind of that habit building. Hi from India. Hello. Namaste. You don't have to spam anymore because like, you don't have to spam it. You're literally no, you didn't even give anyone time to chat in between. But anyway, namaste. Rings of Power was that bad? I've heard that Rings of Power is not very good, but I haven't seen it, so I can't comment myself. Okay, Buckfast tonic wine. Thank you. I will fix that up. Buckfast. Why is this frozen? Excuse you. There we go. Buckfast tonic wine. It is on the list. I will let you know. It was probably Bulbasaur. True. Sorry, you're right. Welcome on in. Namaste. Namaste. Okay, now that we're caught up, let's go through some of our tabs. So we have Blooming Tea here. Let's have a look. Whoa! Okay, this is going to be cool. Boba also shared one, but I think I might just click on this one. Unceremonious food. Ooh. Fun shop. That's definitely going to get muted. Okay, so we've got this little ball. And then over time, it just starts to unfurl, I suppose. Wow! It's like a little flower. That's very pretty. Very, very pretty. Why do they call you Clementine? Because I have willed it so. Well, they actually call me Clem usually, so that is if it's easier for you as well, then you can call me Clem instead. Speaking of reading, you have to read the Cask. Yes, you have spoken about this a while. Ooh, look, the sun's coming out. The Cask of Amanti. I can never say that. It's not Tilado. Tortilla, Tiado. Hopefully that was a little bit better. So know who sneezed behind your wall. Done. Okay. So I want to get into more reading as well. I had this philosophy book that I've had for so long, and I've been really struggling to get into it. So I think I'm going to have to choose a different book so that I can build up my reading habits. And then I will slowly add to my bookshelf, and then we can properly do a book club as well. Oh, cheers, Bobo. Well, I'll watch that one in the Discord. I don't have to watch that one now. I enjoyed Rings of Power, but I had to divorce myself from my knowledge of Silmarillion, Lord of the Rings appendices, and other Tolkien world building, as it really didn't fit well. So it does an okay job as a standalone. Oh, the sun's disappearing already. It does okay as a standalone if you do not know the lore, or like you say, if you pretend you don't know the law. Is this person real? No, definitely not. Can you smoke that? You probably could, but I don't think it would achieve anything, you know? I love Rings of Power. There we go. Okay, so it can be an okay show. Like I said, I haven't seen it, so I don't have any opinions on it whatsoever. I thought you were going to say it's because you're juicy. I teed that up for you. Well, I can say, how about it's because I'm such a sweetie? That just felt unnatural. So no, sorry. But I'll try it next time. Cool. So that was some goosebumps. I feel like that could be a lot of fun. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Namaste in Spanish sounds like no more tea. Namaste. Yeah. Namaste. No more tea. Cask of Amontillado. I'm going to have to look up this pronunciation. Cast of Amontillado. Surely someone's just going to say it. Is there anyone who's just literally saying it? Book summary. I won't bring this up because I'm just looking for it. There we go. There it was. Hold on. I just got to put my headphones in to hear it again.
Published in 1846. The Cask of Amontillado.
Amontillado. There we go. Oh my god, I can hear myself. There we go. That's better. I had it on a setting where I was coming through, and it was disconcerting, but we're all good now. Please read my question. You haven't asked one. So I cannot read your question if you do not give me one, you know? Okay, for your information, Rings of Power is not over and season 3 is coming. Thank you very much for letting me know. Okay, it's a Poe's short story. Gotcha. I did see that it was saying Edgar Allan Poe, but I'm sure that I can add it to the list. I'm going to read I Am Legend, you know, the one that the movie with Will Smith is based on, because my housemate has it, so I was like, ooh. And it's like this big. It's such a short book, so I think that I might read that one to try and get me back into the rhythm of reading, so a nice short novel, and then I can build up. And then my D&D group, the Mrs. DM has a bunch of books that she said I can borrow, so I think I'll try and build up my stamina again. People were referring to it in the past tense. Yes, okay, that makes sense why you needed the clarification. Thank you very much for doing so, Cosmic. I have diarrhea. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. If you really need to, make sure to go to the doctor or even just the chemist and they can help you out. But in general, just let your body flush it out. You got this. How well can you sing? Not very. Not very whatsoever. Hi, Kai. How you going? Okay, the question you asked above. I can tell you that there's no question. Unless it wasn't coming through on my end. I know that sometimes a question can come through but not on my end. It's just basically a communication error. I can't really fix it. But nonetheless, can I give you a little challenge? It's not hard. Sure, why not? I like a little challenge. You should like drink a bunch of water. All right, if you insist, but maybe once I finish my tea. Okay. So many gods, so little time. As in God of War killing gods, so little time? When are you doing that? What is the hook that your channel? I really need to get a better answer for this, hey? Basically, I answer and the questions that people give me, and hopefully they enjoy their stay. If I knew what my hook was, I think I would be a more successful content creator. Let's put it that way. I just turn up and enjoy myself. I don't really think too hard about it. I just do whatever I want to do, really. Can you please say, oh no? Oh no! I'm not Australian, and Australians don't even say oh no anyway, so it's kind of anticlimactic. I referred to the dislike of the show in the past tense, honestly, as no one is really talking about it anymore, but I can see the confusion. I can understand that as well. Can you sing Baby Doll? I don't know this song, sorry. So, if I knew what this song was, then yes, I would. But I am unfamiliar with it. My apologies. I wanted to go to Harvard, but now I'm studying at UCLA and motivate me. You got this. I believe in you. There's nothing wrong with going to UCLA, you know, and all you probably, I don't know what it is in terms of payment and whatnot, but UCLA is a very distinguished university nonetheless. So you got this. Your early days, considering you've probably just started, you're probably very young. I could be wrong about that. Maybe you've gone to study as an elder student. But I'm sure you're fine. The fact that you got in the first place is already amazing. You got this. Are you in Australia? No, I am not. Yeah, I validate internet strangers. That's what my hook is. Questions and answers. All right. When was the signing of the Magna Carta? God damn it. And if we ever needed proof that I am not AI, this is the proof. Well, you see, let me think about that. I don't even know what Magna Carta is, admittedly. I've never heard about this one, but this is another example of what we do. We learn. The Magna Carta, if I'm even saying it correctly, or Great Charter, is a landmark 1215 document. Damn! Sealed by King John of England at Runnymede that established the principle that everyone, including the king, is subject to the law. Okay, so that's actually a very good thing to have. It was forced by rebel barons to protect feudal rights, limit taxation, and guarantee swift justice, forming a foundational document for modern democracy and individual freedoms. That's actually genuinely very good to know. So it is a very important part of UK history for sure. And not necessarily the beginning, but definitely a contributor to how we do our laws now, right? That's incredible. I am glad. I feel like there could be more. There feels like there's more drama there. Like why? Of course, the monarchy needs to be held accountable to the law. And before that, it wasn't. Fascinating. And then they have a couple copies at the British Library, and then in the Lincoln Castle and in Salisbury Cathedral as well. Cool. Today I learned. Thank you so much for teaching me that. Like, even if it was a little bit of a haha, that actually genuinely made me very like I feel very well off having learned that. That's awesome. No, I haven't, Kiwi Man. If it's in the Discord, I haven't looked it up. Clem took his fear, anger, hate, suffering, the dark side. I like it. I go to uni if I want to be a doctor. Is that something you want to do? No, it's just something I would do if I wanted to. Do you like Vegemite? I love Vegemite. Vegemite is very, very, very tasty. It does sound Latin, and so it says in English the charter, but perhaps that's what it translates to. Yes, I am a New Zealander. You got it right, Zay. Thank you, Sally. Very much appreciated. Hi, Ankino. And after, oh my goodness, thank you so much. For 51 months, that is insanity, Lexington. Thank you. Much appreciated. I was actually thinking that I must message you about Dungeons and Dragons. So we will try and organize a little watch party. The monarchy was the law, so I suppose that you'd have to look at around. Thank you. As Anne, you'd have to look at the history of the time and see how the law was different to the monarchy being the law, and so on and so forth. But anyway, that's cool. That was very cool. The king, as he is ordained by God, was the law before that, and so that is why they wouldn't have like a set of rules, but rather just I decide what is going on, and that makes sense with the whole like off with their head. And the reason why so many monarchs were able to just decide the fate of many individuals. Okay, well that's awesome. That feels like a good thing to implement into the history in that case. I prefer the Latin sic parvis magna, greatness from small beginnings. Beautiful. Basically, if you don't sign, it would be the end of the monarchy. In my experience, the law is rarely moral, just rules the ones in charge. Okay, sorry. Let me. I know how this is meant to be said. In my experience, the law is rarely moral. It just rules the ones in charge. They are just rules that the ones in charge enforce. I agree to an extent, in the sense that I understand that it's like the cherry picking of what they want to enforce and what they don't want to enforce. However, I do think that there are a lot of laws that I do agree with. I don't think we should go around murdering people, for example, and I would like that upheld. I think it's pretty barbaric. And it's kind of crazy that there are a lot of instances where that's okay, but nonetheless, that's not necessarily what I want to talk about today. Isn't Magna Carta what Jay-Z called this kid? That's so deep cut, and I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. You have a good voice for radio. Thank you. Thank you kindly. I'm going to try and see if I can do ads one day for radio. Buy your car insurance today. Sounds like a plan, hell yeah. If you're a hot dog, would you eat yourself or just dress yourself up and tease hungry people? I'd definitely be a tease because I'm currently a vegetarian and I'm also not a cannibal, let alone an order cannibalist. Is that a thing? I kind of assume it would be a thing. Because, for example, one could theoretically eat themselves, theoretically. And another example, one could theoretically eat another of their species. But it shouldn't. These are laws that I do agree with. I don't think that we should be eating them. If you want to now have another hypothetical of like, well, what if it's consensual? Well, now we're talking about the trolley problem, and I don't want to get into that. That hurts my brain too much. But nonetheless. So if I were a hot dog, by the same logic, I would not eat myself because it is my own species. And so I guess I would just tease hungry people because that's the alternative. Vegemite tricked me and made me think it would taste like chocolate. You poor thing. You poor, poor, poor thing. Yeah, Nutella definitely set you up. Thank you, Trilza. Much appreciated. In Iran, it's moral to beat a woman for showing her hair, and isn't that ridiculous? And so those are examples where I completely agree with you. But I don't think that we can blanket state that all laws are immoral because, like you say, I think maybe the way that people are enforcing things could be immoral. Maybe that's a bit of a balance that we could, or compromise that we could come to. I heard Vegemite is like absolute garbage. No, Vegemite is tasty, otherwise it wouldn't be so popular. Not all laws impact the monarchy, since most of the common laws are the crown versus person for the crime of crimes. Since the king can't prosecute himself, he can murder someone legally. Jesus Christ, that's ridiculous. And I suppose that we saw that in the history, but I hope that they're not doing it today. Yes, I've been streaming for 5 years almost. Isn't that crazy? I don't like to think about it. It seems so bizarre to me, but yes, 5 years in June is my anniversary. Okay, am I the only American here? No, there are so many Americans in the community, but a lot of them might be sleeping as well, but you're definitely not the only one. You're the last American. I have a face for radio and a voice for print. Tears. Is eating sperm cannibalism? No. No, the same way eating snot wouldn't be cannibalism, you know? The New Guineans eat the brains of the elders. Do they really? Doesn't that cause like a mental disease? I thought that eating a brain makes you go even more crazy. Is that propaganda they tell us so that we don't eat one another? Does eating your fingernails, chewing on your hair count as auto-cannibalism? I don't think so. I think it has to be the flesh, no? For example, if you eat the fur of a dog, you're not eating the dog. That is my assumption. How much for the 2-piece? I only have $4. No over $4. $3 in that case. You can send it to my tip donation jar. Search for tag vegetarian and vegan. Oh well, you can't eat yourself if you're vegetarian and vegan. I'm from New Zealand. I'm from New Zealand. Prion disease. Yeah, that's the one. The human body produces and consumes roughly 1 to 2. Hey, liters of mucus and phlegm. I knew someone else would think about it. So yes, without looking up cannibalism, it's not in my history, but my assumption would be that it would have to be to do with the flesh. Because like I said, I think that if you're eating the fur of a dog, that is not eating the dog, because the fur can come off the dog. So the same way fingernails and hair can come off of a person. So I don't think that that could be considered eating a person. But eating a finger would be, you know what I mean? Because that's not meant to break off of you. You know what I mean? I'm going to subscribe to you. Thank you, BMW. That's very kind. Don't eat human brains. Oh, yes. I should also do that PSA. Guys, if you're listening to the conversation right now, please don't eat human brains. I don't recommend it. Okay, now we can continue with the conversation. Yeah, Toke also said prion disease. Prions and shit. Okay, you guys know this. I tried Vegemite several times and my mouth has refused it every time. It's not for everyone, but I like it a lot. Snot is dead bacteria and sperm would be something different. Yes, but I still don't think that it would be cannibalism because it's not flesh, you know? If eating sperm were cannibalism, then... where was this? Kissing with the slightest saliva exchange would be too hot. Did you know that any time that you're making out with someone, it's like you're eating them? Hot. All the monster girlies will be very pleased with this, you know? But I want to eat human brains. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, so we're definitely confirming that it's prion disease, though, it seems like it. Should we look at what, before we play some games, should we look at what prion disease actually does to a person, or do you guys already know? They don't want the working class gaining all that super knowledge. Ah, see, they might be trying to, like someone who consumes the knowledge by eating the brains. They don't want the working class to get smarter and smarter and overthrow them. Animal cells are animal cells, Your Honor. So you think it would be eating a dog if you eat just the fur? I'm not from the UK, but I live here. You're like, yes, I'm from New Zealand. You got it. 2 mangoes, $5. Nice. I read about America in 2007 in a Britannica's encyclopedia, and I've been a staunch New Yorker since. Nice. You always search cannibalism with incognito. Mucus and phlegm is like some made-up failed 90s cartoon. I like it. You're so right. You're so right. If Sherlock Holmes had a secretary, you are exactly what I picture for him. Thank you. I think I actually really appreciate that. The fact that Sherlock Holmes would be willing to hire me is a really good compliment, I think. I'm nitpicking for the sake of an argument. Fair enough, Krupke. You're not alone in that desire. My dad is a soldier who fought in Afghanistan. Is he still with us? Because regardless, you know, I hope that he was able to get out of Afghanistan war in that regard. Hi, Katana. Lunch break over. No stress, Ian. Go do your thing. Chewing your own nails or dead skin is called... It is called autocannibalism? Well... color me wrong. If you're not listening but are only reading chat, feel free to... God damn it, Raven. No human brain or spine, but the rest is okay. So if you're trying to get... This is ridiculous. But I swear the law would imply that you wouldn't be allowed to eat any part of a human body, right? So therefore you can't eat someone's hair. Couldn't hear the public message. Too busy eating brains and drinking day whiskey from the previous condonements. God damn it. What am I doing on this channel? And if anyone asks what it is we do here, we say we practice free will. That's gonna be my hook from here on out. Do you plan on staying in Southampton long term? I'm not 100% sure. So I definitely want to travel, but if you're asking if I plan to move elsewhere, I'm not sure. Basically, I've got a very good situation here, and so it will kind of be whether or not it works out with me and the person who's let me live here, you know, because I would hate to be in their space. They own this place, and so I'd hate to be in this space, and then they're like, actually, like... I want to live by myself again. And that that would be okay, and I would understand that. So it will just be basically a conversation that they will hopefully make sure to have with me rather than keep it to themselves. And in that case, I would look at other opportunities. But I've only been here for 2 months now, and so I definitely would like to stay here. I really like where I am, especially because I found a D&D group that I hang out with every week, except for this week. This week we have to postpone because of a lot of reasons. And so that alone makes me kind of want to stay here now that I've been building up my little friendship group. But I think that if I couldn't stay literally in this house, then I would have to think of whether or not that's something that I would continue long term, or if I try a different city, maybe even a different country. But I guess the other thing is, what is the definition of long term? You know, like is a few months long term? Is a few years long term? I would hope to be here by at least the end of the year. Is that long term? Because that would now be 9 months. Lots of asterisks. Okay, prions are a protoform of life, wild protein molecules. All right. I know where's this Kuru? Someone else said Kuru as well. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. You have the accent to be Sherlock. Oh my goodness. Now that is a compliment. Do you get hit on daily? I mean, every time I go live, I get a lot of marriage proposals, but I wouldn't say that's me getting hit on. I think that's a very different wording. But yes, I do have lots of fiancés, if that answers your question. But that's mainly on the live streams. In terms of in person, not really. I just go about my day, and yeah, it's been pretty respectful in the places I've lived, I suppose. Okay. Do you have oh yeah, I know what Cura and mad cow disease does to someone. Well, you know more than I do, I suppose. Do you have to cannibalism is defined as the act of consuming the flesh? See, this is what I was saying, or internal organs of another being, regardless of whether that person is alive or deceased. And so I don't think that hair or mucus or other excrement, that's not the word I wanted to use, but nonetheless, I don't think that's cannibalism. I think it does have to be like flesh. That's my impression. Okay, something about misfolding proteins, no cure, dying painfully. Ooh, yikes. Yeah, okay. Isn't mad cow... I thought mad cow was a type of prion disease as well. Like, I didn't know the word prion disease, but that's what I thought was the correlation as well. But I also don't know what mad cow really does. When people kiss, it temporarily creates one long tract with buttholes on both ends. Ah, I see you too have watched the human... I was going to say caterpillar. Well, I suppose if you're joining them at the mouth, then maybe it could be a caterpillar instead of a centipede, you know? Christian is my middle name, and I am a follower of Jesus. Relationship over religion for me. Oh, okay, there we go. This chat is surprisingly well behaved for now. Today, I will admit that the chat has been pretty well behaved today, but mods have been having to do a little bit of work on another given day. Then it can be a lot worse, Toad. A lot worse. I'm feeling pretty chill. A lot of the regulars will be able to repeat that as well. But yeah, we've got a few Christians in the chat as well. I'm not one myself. Exclamfuture, please let her respond. The whole idea of the robot responding is so that I don't have to answer these frequently asked questions Faz has, but nonetheless, you did get your answer, hopefully. Is that the only legal real form, eating the placenta? I don't know. I guess maybe it will vary from country to country. Human is the only ethical meat because we are the only animals that can give informed consent. I've never thought about that. Damn. That's an interesting way to look at it. But who would be willing to consent to it? I guess that's why we need vegetarians and vegans, right? Prepare for my arrival. Okay, I'm set. Joe! Hello! It's good to have you back here, Joe. Hello. It's like drinking someone's blood makes you a weirdo vampire, but probably not a cannibal. Ooh, blood. I don't think blood can be constituted as flesh, but could it be ruled as the internal organs? This is why we have lawyers. The lawyers can tell us all of these answers, I'm sure. Stay in my life full time? Okay, if you insist. I don't know what a Tommy Wark is, though. 9 months is a full term. You do have a good point on that one. Thank you very much. So maybe if it's a full term, then it could be considered long term for sure. Okay. Yes, I am Asmon Girl. It's me, Asmon Girl. Although, okay, I actually do have a update on Asmon Girl lore. I kid you not, yesterday after stream, I looked up if the YouTube channel Asmon Girl was taken because I kind of thought it would be funny if I created a channel called Asmon Girl. And I don't know what I would do on it, but I wanted to take the YouTube channel if it existed. It does exist already, so I cannot take the YouTube channel Asmon Girl. It's basically someone who created an AI and they don't even use it, and it's so disappointing. So now we have to come up with another name because we can't use Asmon Girl. So back to the brainstorming. I wonder what are the psychological effects of being from New Zealand and looking at the world map only to find yourself at the very edge of it. Well, it just depends on which way you look at the map, I suppose. Best part of being Christian is that I have overcome all the 7 deadly sins and now my life is peaceful. I don't think that's quite how Christianity works, but nonetheless, I'm glad that you've been able to master it because many have not. Technically, some experts and medical professionals state that because the placenta is a human organ and genetically part of a newborn, its consumption borders on cannibalism because people do eat it as a bit of a cultural thing, right? I don't know why people eat placenta. I know that sometimes they can use it, but it's not something that I know people personally that are practicing. So yes, I would assume that it could be a form of cannibalism for sure. For sure. How do you know it's a bot as an exclamputer? Because I made it. That's how I know it's a bot. It's called exclamputer because I have willed it so. It is named after me. It is my son. Exclamputer is my son. That is how I know it's a bot. The start of September to the end of December in school is the long term I always dread. Adorable. I am committed to everyone but select a few personally. That feels healthy. Living on a sailboat, I can't understand seeing the same place every day. That's so cool that you live on a sailboat. What the heck? Oh my goodness gracious. So surely you'd have to dock every now and again to be able to get your essentials. But that's so cool. Do you have like a country of residence? You don't have to share your country of residence, but do you still have to like pay taxes into one country? Do you sail around the same country? Oh my gosh, this is just so cool, Landon. What the heck? You're so cool. That's so cool. My goodness gracious. People just do it. It's not necessarily cultural for eating placenta. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I just don't know really anything about it. Asmon silver, perhaps? I feel like it has to be something more like Asmon bronze or copper, considering the hair color, right? Asmon red, maybe? We could do red. Asmon ginger? I think it has to be something to do with those kinds of colorings rather if we can't use Asmon girl, you know? Okay, just catching up here. The very hungry caterpillar is the kid-friendly version of the human centipede. No, the human caterpillar, which is the PG version of the human centipede. I follow my feet. That's nice. I do have feet. I do indeed. Contrary to popular belief, I do have feet. Flesh, bone, or muscle, meat, or organs, all of them. The only, and let's call it biggest issue. Thank you. Yes. So one of the many issues of cannibalism, there's no species barrier for diseases to cross. So whatever illnesses the meat donor had, if you ate that, you've got it too. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Because you would just consume it and then it would disperse into your body, I suppose. Okay. Unless it's properly cooked. So this is where like salmonella and whatnot. The salmonella of the human. Damn it, Alpha! I knew that someone would bring it up. I evolved ages ago and wrote a book. Hell yeah. You're welcome to share your book if you want to promote it. I believe human blood consumption would make you a cannibal as well. I think so. No, it wouldn't make you a cannibal. It'd make you a vampire. Why is everyone vampire? We just talk about random things and theorizing about these things. Just post a video saying you aren't Asmongold. No, I want to say I am Asmongold, damn it. But yeah, that's the, like, I get the YouTube channel called Asmon Girl and be like, I'm not Asmon Gold, damn it. Asmongold paint. That's so funny. Sorry. The bot is responding to all the messages of Asmon. My apologies. I think it's very high in iron, which is good for a new mother. So this is the placenta, who's often low in iron. Okay, there we go. Of course, you can say a bad joke. It is as long as it is not against TOS. So, you can say a bad joke, but it has to be a joke that is allowed to be typed out, if that makes sense. I haven't seen the movie Alive, Dan. I don't know this one at all. Or Society of the Snow. No, I don't know these ones. They gave consent to the peers to eat one another if they died in those conditions, so the remaining living could survive. And I feel like that makes sense, and it's probably based off some true events as well. Never mind it. Oh my god, wait. This is actually low-key a good pickup line. Never mind being Asmon girl. What about being my girl? That's actually a very good one. So the thing is, I get a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but I get people who are like, marry me or whatever in the line, or trying pickup lines. For me, the pickup lines that genuinely work are people who are very witty and able to find a pickup line within the conversation. Because one, it shows that you're listening, and two, it shows that you're witty. And so that is very... Like, I'm actually blushing over that. That's ridiculous. I don't want to give any false impressions, but other than just pure admiration. So I'm sorry that it took me this long to read, because that is very well done. You should be very proud of that one, genuinely. You have to be very proud of that one. Oh, goodness gracious. I can't. I'm flustered. I'm flustered, genuinely. Okay, so the placenta is nutritional. You need all the energy you can to get from the after having a newborn baby, for sure, or even during. The next closest thing I could think of would be human liver. Damn, can't you cut them down to a third and they grow back? I've heard stuff like this as well. Like livers can repair themselves. So maybe if you remove some periodically, can you give that out? Hi, Amistar and Ian, welcome back. I was reading a story last year about a guy that took first place in a chili contest. Okay, I'm assuming that you mean like chili eating. Later, they found out he had human flesh mixed in that same chili. Gross. What the heck? I guess there's some sicko who's trying to put that on other people. That's not consensual whatsoever. Placenta Red Bull. I do feel like Red Bull would market it somehow. Red Bull placenta. Red Bull would be able to convince a lot of people to be able to drink it or eat it. Anyway. Thank you, Greasy Potato. Much appreciated for the compliment. If it's a Pokemon, I'm catching you. I do like my Pokemon. I just got back. I'm not entirely sure what we're talking about. Also true. The very hungry caterpillar, when it comes in, changes into a butterfly, has its wings on upside down. Does it really? The hungry caterpillar. I have to have a look now. If she was a Pokemon, she would be Meowth. That's right. It's just a little Pokemon anime joke for you. I don't know what you meant, Kim, by that, but I hope that you appreciated my commitment to the bit. Most carnivore mammals eat their placenta after birth. Ah, there we go. I didn't know. Did you see the first robot to become a Buddhist monk? I have not. Is that one that I should look up? That sounds very fascinating. Hello, Kevin. Hello. Asmon Fool's Gold. That's clever. I like that as well. Lionel, calm the eye. Take flight before flight. I don't know this one. Sorry, Joshua. Hi, Harrow. If drinking... Oh, hi, Kira. Good to have you here as well. Okay. I'm deliberately listening to chat in... Oh, that's right. Happy 100th birthday to David Attenborough, by the way, for those who haven't found out. He is now 100. I've learned you can turn a canoe upside down and wear it as a hat because it's capsized. Ba-da-bum. I'm not going to lie. I really thought that it was going to have something to do with the boat upside down in Pirates of the Caribbean. And so now I just think about Will Turner and Captain Jack Sparrow sharing a hat. It's very clever. I like it. I don't think that was a bad joke. I think that was a good joke, in fact. I like it. I like it. Asmon mold. He already has his own mold. I don't need to contribute to that. Hi, Kevin. Are you a brick wall? Because you're a shit conversationalist. Why are you so good with words, Kiwi man? I guess I'm not, so... If drinking blood or bodily fluids is being considered cannibalism, then everyone is a cannibal. Exactly. So that's why I think that it is not cannibalism to have eating snot, you know? Thanks, Silva. Okay, all fresh water is recycled. Think about it. Okay. That's it, fella. She's taken the what about my girl work too well. Yeah, exactly. I don't even know if they're still here. The thing is that they wrote it and then I may have taken so long to respond to their message. So if anything, I'm the one who really fumbled this interaction. The fact, oh my gosh. They put their heart out on the line and I stomped on her. And you know what? That's the one that got away. And I only have myself to blame. So damn it. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. We got to remember the username in case we cross paths again. Okay. The human body is over 70% water. So if you drink water, you're a cannibal. There's no scientific proof behind eating the placenta. From what I can see, it's from mammals in the wild eating it, but it's a relatively recent trend in human history, often popularized by influencers and celebrities seeking natural postpartum wellness. Okay, there we go. So maybe more research required, or maybe no more research required. I do not read the Bible. I actually do have interest in reading it because I do find it really fascinating as a story, and it would be really cool to be able to say, well, actually, I have read the Bible, and this is what I do and do not agree with it. But I think that I have plenty other stories that I will read before reading the Bible specifically. Okay, cool. It's a race to whoever can say it to her face completely randomly and out of context first. That's the one. Okay. Hi, Keep. How are you going? Hi, dude. Did you know that toast is burnt bread? Well, I suppose it's more like heated bread rather than burnt bread, because you can get burnt toast. But the same way that you can burn your meat rather than heating your meat. So I'm not so convinced it's burnt bread. I think it's heated bread, or rather, toasted bread. From all the water on Earth, only like 3% is fresh water. Yes, we talked about this, hey. Okay, so coming back to kudu. It's prion disease last really seen in the 60s in Papua New Guinea, where ritual cannibalism was practiced. And I think that it's still allowed today, right? We understand it not to be practiced anymore. Never mind, I should have kept reading. It can live in the system dormant for up to 50 years, and symptoms include difficulty with muscle control, tremors, mood swings, and finally difficulty swallowing, which is, I understand what finally does it in most people. Oh, because they can't eat, basically. Also, irrespective of if you cook the meat or not, if someone had kudu and you eat them, you get it too. Brilliant. Well, there we go. Thank you so much. I think I'm going to, after such a well-informed message about prion disease, kuru, and cannibalism, we'll leave it off there. I think that we have entertained the ideas of cannibalism long enough, far longer than we probably should. So we'll leave it there, especially because I think I'm about to have a heart attack because I can smell toast. Is this the burnt bread? Is this from the guy who lives in my walls who's just making toast? The guy who sneezed earlier? Sometimes I can't tell if I'm connected to the neighbors more than I think. But also where I am is furthest away from the neighbors. So I don't know. Okay, I think I'm okay. If I die, it's been nice knowing you. Weird. Okay. All right. We're all right. We're all right. Hopefully we'll find out. I suggest you start in the book of John. Okay, cheers. Thank you, Toad. Over 70% of Arabs here in American are Christian. I guess Christianity is the predominant religion over in America, hey? And just because one is Arabic doesn't mean that they're Islamic. I feel like that's a high number, though. Is that one that we can look up, maybe? Will AI tell me that? Heated bread sits on a spectrum. That's funny. I'm well, Hassan. I hope you're well as well. You have a question? Well, I don't want to answer your question, so It doesn't really matter what your question is now that I've read it. Green tea tastes like grass. True. If tomato is a fruit, then is ketchup a smoothie? Yes. Next. Stroke. Sorry. Yes, a stroke, not a heart attack. You guys got it. Well, maybe I just got it wrong because I'm having a stroke, okay? An aneurysm, that's what it is, hey? Just the camera catching fire. What? It's not even hot today, as you can tell by the lack of sun. Oh my gosh. Hi from the Philippines. Hello. You could look like you could eat an apple through a tennis racket. I don't. What? Like, I could figure it out, because if you're thinking that I could figure it out, then I can tell you that I could not figure it out. But, you know, maybe I give the appearance that I could. Nonetheless. What's happening here? Well, I might be getting a stroke, because I can smell burnt toast. The last message has stroke-inducing amounts of information within. Exactly. It's brought it on here. Is leaf soup? Well, I don't know, but leave it alone, okay? What are you doing to Asmund Silver? I feel like Asmund Bronze is where I'm leaning towards. What are other words for... Oh, wait, I have the hungry caterpillar butterfly. First things first. Hungry caterpillar butterfly. Thank you. I very much appreciate that. It does have its wings upside down. It must have ate some too much of a weird foods and made it all upside down. Maybe it's just a stylistic choice. Yeah, there's a photo from the book itself. It does look upside down, doesn't it? How crazy. It's a sucking joke in a similar vein to you looks like you could suck the paint off a warship. I don't get it. Does that prove the point? Am I a dum-dum? Am I AI? Average intelligence, if that. Of course, you can look at it as well that majority of Arabs in America are Christians. That inspires me to be a Christian. Oh, there we go. Rather live in exile than leave their faith. Fascinating. An apple through a letterbox. I like that. I like that one more. Do you acknowledge WWE superstar Roman Reigns as the tribal chief and the greatest of all time? No. Because I'm more about that Steiner maths, obviously. Obviously. What's your channel about? We just chat. We learn things. We figure out that the hungry caterpillar's butterfly wings are on upside down. Are basically just interacting with the messages and seeing where the conversation leads, essentially. It looks sad. I love the artwork of the OG book. Yeah, it's just an artistic choice, maybe. I never noticed it as a kid. It was a friend who pointed it out when I was reading it to my son. Yeah, well, now you've taught us as well.
I'm doing my part.
Orburn? Yeah, I feel like I do have a close... It's so dark today. I'm sorry. Usually the sun isn't this light. This hidden. That's why I think it's going to rain today. This is also why I need to go get some lights. I think I would put it just behind my desk here, and so then I have more consistent lighting. It's very, very dark today. But I think, like you say, Auburn is probably more accurate to my hair color. But I think that gold, the reason why I would say copper or bronze is because it is more in line with the gold aspect. Or we can just rebrand to girl anyway. And if the AI that Asmund girl, or if Asmund girl has already been taken and it's not being used, then we can kind of take it as well. What music do you listen to? Well, I was blasting the album of the Hunchback of Notre Dame Disney film only a few days ago, so take that with a grain of salt. Are you being kidnapped? Definitely not. But I do have a donation, and you know, every bit helps. Every bit helps. I have hardwood floors and plastic Venetian blinds. I see. Is there... Oh, yeah. I'm not a big fan of Venetian blinds, but... hopefully they aren't all constantly getting tangled. But yes, we are learning about Roman Reigns, apparently. Okay, since you live in Australia, well, I don't live in Australia anymore, but I did. Do you know Bishop Mari Emmanuel? No, I'm not familiar with them. Sorry, Rit. I've not heard of this name before. Yeah, a lot of people ask a lot of questions that are interesting, but I don't think they're actually seeing it's normal. They're being funny, and they are funny. Would you ever consider becoming a model? Thank you very much. That's actually a really kind compliment. I hate the thing is I for those who are new, you'll notice that I really struggle to answer a question with anything other than the truth. So, in terms of your question of have I ever considered becoming a model? Yes. In fact, I was one. 10 years ago, I was entering the modeling industry. I wasn't a fan, so I exited it pretty quickly. But I do really appreciate the compliment nonetheless. So I don't think I have any photos immediately on my on here, but I do have photos of my modeling days, and the regulars have seen these in the past. What is the YouTube bot triggered from? The interjection seems somewhat random. I don't have a lot of messages, so the only ones that I have are where are you from and anything that says Asmon. Asmon Gold. It'll be like, oi, she's not Asmon Gold, she's Asmon Girl. So those I think are the only two ones that constantly get triggered. But the problem is that if it gets triggered in the vertical, because you're in horizontal, right, Ian? If it gets triggered in the vertical, it'll still send it to the horizontal. And also I think, oh no, it doesn't send it to Twitch. So that might be what you're missing as well, if that helps. Let's see if I don't know if where are you from spelled like that. Oh no, there we go. So as an example, Serenster has said, where are you from? And now my bot has said, Clem's from New Zealand, but her accent is a bit strange. However, that gets sent in both variations of my YouTube lives because I'm live vertically, which suits mobile phone users, and I'm live horizontally, which suits PC users. But because of how the bot works, it just sends it to the YouTube channel in general, and that is why it sends it to both YouTube channels. And horizontal, we don't have as many chatters, and so it looks like it's a bit random. Hopefully that answers the question as well. Okay, Asmon Copper, because copper is naturally red. I think copper is really good as well, right? Copper top. I think it's cute. I wasn't ready. Anyone get Charmander? I actually just posted a short form video that talks about Charmander, which is cute. Hopefully we'll see Frank in the future who sees it because they inspired that whole clip, which is cool. Okay, the message about the floors and blinds will make 0 sense. Mods remove the offending message. Oh, my apologies. I thought you were just talking about it because of the room, but yeah, some of the messages that are allowed still don't end up on here because of how the multi-chat that I have speaks to YouTube. It's very strange, but I don't really know how to fix it. But if anyone follows Nutty, who does a whole bunch of like streamer bot tutorials, and you've seen them talk about this, please let me know because that's what I'm using at the moment. Fun fact, do you know that most people draw or get tattoos of butterflies? Wrong. Most are drawn with the wings spread out and up due to the collectors pinning their collections to show all of the wings. But how is that wrong? Sorry, I think I'm missing that. I do like Britney Spears. I do. I'm not afraid to admit it. I like that one. Well, soup is witchcraft. You follow directions in a book. Placing ingredients into a boiling container and stirring. Witchcraft. I like it. I like it. B Sharp is a good Pokemon, if that's who you're talking about. Yeah, Steel Dark. So you must be talking about B Sharp. I respect this opinion. And I also respect a little Chaos Gremlin raiding on in. Hi, Raiders. I hope you had a wonderful stream. If you guys are in my community and you have yet to follow It's Chaos Bella, please make sure to do so immediately. She is, as the name implies, incredibly chaotic and also has a wonderfully, equally chaotic community. Hi guys, I hope you had a wonderful time. What are you playing at the moment, my love? We're just chatting away. Oh shoot. I will keep an eye because I know that we're close to an ad break on Twitch, but if the ads come up too quickly, I'll make sure to pause it so the raiders don't get affected. If you guys haven't come across me before in a Bella raid, hello, my name's Clementine. You can call me Clem. I'm a Just Chatting streamer, first and foremost. We have been speaking about a wide variety of topics today, including cannibalism, but I digress. It started talking about tea, okay? It started off very innocently. We learned about the different types of tea, green versus black versus other teas, and clearly it didn't stick very well. And then we may have started talking about the definition of cannibalism, but nonetheless. But that is kind of what we do. We just let the conversation flow from one topic to the next and figure it out. I'm also just settling into my new life here in the UK. I'm originally from New Zealand. And despite being a Just Chatting streamer, I have started picking up new game. We're going to, I say new game, but basically I'm playing Red Dead Redemption. So once we're wrapped up here with our yapping away, then we're going to play some Red Dead as well. So that is a little bit about me. Nerfy's the chaotic one. I believe this. The rest of us were well behaved. Sure. Dark Pals. Oh, I don't know this one. I'll have to come check it out. Have you wrapped it up there? Also, if you need to head off, then just head off. I don't think it's ridiculously late, at least. Yeah, it's not too late. Like, it's before midnight, so you're doing all right. But I am looking after myself. I'm a very happy girl. But if you need to head off, and that goes to any of the raiders, please head off. Don't feel like you have to stick around. Yes, we've been calling it Red Dead Redemption. So that's what we're going to jump into when we're wrapped up. But if you guys are sticking around, come join in the conversation. We are talking about a whole bunch of stuff, and I will snooze the ads. So we will get ads in about 6 minutes time. Just a heads up for the Twitchers. Just a small game. There we go. The Last of Us. Interesting. I might have to come and watch your playthrough through The Last of Us. I think I will come chat to you about The Last of Us. We don't have to talk about it here. Thank you so much for the raid, though, my dear. It's so good. Part 2. Okay. That makes sense. I really like that system. It's really nice to balance it off. Very, very cool. Very cool. I actually haven't played part 2, so in that case, I probably will not come and hang out because I don't want to spoil it for myself. But nonetheless, welcome. Someone also asked me if I like Slipknot, so Raiders, welcome to the conversation. We're just going to jump straight back into it. I don't not like Slipknot, but admittedly, I don't really know their music very well, so that I don't have strong opinions, I suppose. Defo, that's really sweet. Thank you. I think that I'm still figuring out how I like to address you. Shark would be kind of fun. DEFO Ogre Shark. DEF Ogre Shark. I will workshop how I will address you, but if you have a preference, let me know. We're figuring it out. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, go do your thing. Much love, Bella. Thank you so much for the raid. Genuinely appreciate it. And again, if you guys are part of my community, please make sure to check out It's Chaos Bella, because she genuinely is another very lovely person as well. Oh, it's an org. Defo Org Shark. No, I think it's Ogre Shark. No, it's definitely... now we're all having opinions on this. It's Ogre Shark, surely. It's Def Ogre Shark. It's definitely Ogre Shark. You're thinking Forge Shark? DE. Well, then what does DE stand for? It's just Defo, thank goodness, because that's what I've been saying. But now everyone is telling us how to say your name. Because if it's Forge Shark... Oh, ogre spelt wrong. Okay, never mind. My bad. Yep, that's on me. That's on me. I can't read. Understood. Okay. I can admit when I'm wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. And this is one of those cases. You are correct. I had switched around the G and the R. Maybe I just like Shrek. Okay. Maybe I just like the idea of an ogre shark. All right. Kommen Sie aus Deutschland? Nein. Defo is going to give us the law. Yeah, I went through the New Zealand education system too. Exactly right. You get it. Aspen Ogre, we're finally finding it. Yes, that's exactly exactly what I should call it. I could be Asmin Orange for those who are raiding on in or new. I get compared to Asmin Gold a lot, and so we're trying to find because I wanted to take the YouTube channel Asmin Girl. I don't know what I would do with it, but I just wanted to take it, but it's already been taken. I know that it says Asmin Orge, okay? I know Lounge is clever, okay? I'm already aware at how witty Seasoned Lounge is, okay? I remember when their name was Seasoned Lounge, and now it's Seas Hound Lounge, and that's very clever. I know how witty they are. I know it says Orge. I was just saying Ogre, okay? Asmongerine, that could work. Asmoned Girl. I feel like I would get too many subscriptions if it was Asmoned Girl. Okay. Asmin not a festy man living in the disgusting attic with rotting food and roaches gold. Unfortunately, I am aware that he cleaned his attic. I'm also in an attic. Wait, I am Asmin Girl. We are actually the same person. I also cleaned this attic, although I wasn't the one responsible for its mess, and so therefore we're kind of not the same person because I needed a cleaner space far earlier than Asmin Gold did, but nonetheless, I am the Roach Queen. It's all coming together! I don't make $1 million a year though, so... No, I don't make $1 million a year yet. His cleaning isn't exactly cleaning, hey, but at least, look, would we rather him do what he has done or just let him sit in his filth? I think it's a good thing that he at least tried. No? Is it not at least an attempt? Making $1 million a year would be lovely as long as you could do it tax-free. Yeah, exactly, because you just end up spending so much. I don't have necessarily goals to earn $1 million. I've already said this. I would like to earn 100,000 a year. That would be great. I feel like that would be awesome. I am not earning 100,000 a year. I can tell you that much. Hey, Slurpnado! Hello, how are you? It's so good to have you here. Oh my gosh, we're getting all the raids today. Very much appreciated. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you guys haven't come across me before, I am Xclementine. You can call me Clem. I'm a just chatting streamer, and we have paused the ads so that you are not stuck behind them. Welcome on in. We're talking about Asmongold and how similar I am to them. And that we are the same person. But nonetheless, outside of that, I do a lot of just chatting where we just have conversations with the community and see what topic comes up next, essentially. So hi, hello, and thank you for the follow, much appreciated. If you guys are in my community, please make sure to follow Slurpnado. They're a lovely, lovely little lass. And it's just good to have you back here. Hello, how you been? If you need to raid and fade, please raid and fade. But otherwise, if you have an opportunity to let us know what you were getting up to at the moment, then please do so. But otherwise, you know, do your thing. I just very much appreciate that you have chosen to raid on in again today. Tanko. I'm not originally from the UK, but I am from New Zealand and I live in the UK now. I just moved here 2 months ago. Hopefully that answers your question. I was just yapping today. Well, there we go. If you guys are from my community, you simply must hang out with Slurpnado in that case because they're a yapper. You love it. Yeah, I've really settled in. I really enjoy my move. I basically moved here so that I could be closer to Europe and do a bunch of travel. So last month I went to the Balkans, so Slovenia and Croatia, and next month I'm going to Denmark, and then after that I'm going to Spain. So that's kind of why I moved, and yeah, I'm very, very happy. Venom's a fellow Kiwi as well. Kia ora. Welcome on in that case. We're unicorns. So I love our Kiwi community growing. Look, I even have a Kiwi here. This is Manu, my Kiwi, my little mascot. They're never too far away. Manu, so sweet. Happy with my little guy. I went to oh my gosh, you went to Platinum Red Dead Redemption. Jeepers. That is quite the task that you have ahead of you if you want to do that. Thank you so much. Going through your Japan trip. I've never been, but I know that so many people love it so very much. That's so exciting. Oh my goodness gracious. That's awesome. Well, Raiders, welcome on in. Us chatting like we are now is basically what we do. So I'm just going to be catching up with some of the things that I missed from earlier. But I feel like I might be too far away from this. So good day, JM, by the way. Thank you so much for saying hi. I'm sorry that I missed this earlier. Where are the roaches? You're a phony. God damn it. Until I absolutely turn this place into a pigsty, I cannot claim that I am as noble as the Roach King himself. So anyway, Raiders, that's what we're talking about. My similarities to Asmongold, because I get compared to them. And if you don't know who Asmongold is, then that's probably a good thing. Thanks, Nefarious. Sorry I didn't say bye earlier. Asmon Red, because gold just isn't just a metal. Yeah, I think Asmon Red it does sound good. It's nice and punchy, you know. Okay, I think we're actually somewhat. I think we're actually okay. Oh no, here we go. This is what I saw. What I missed. The common way to draw or illustrate butterflies' wings pulled high and flat forward is inaccurate to how they appear in nature. Yes. That makes more sense. Thank you so much. Redhead plays Red Dead. You got it. You got it. Okay, I think that we are... If I missed anything, I do apologize. My chat kind of jumped down from the raids and whatnot, but still. I don't think there'll be anything else I can really do. As mounds of rubbish, that's funny. Very, very funny. Cool. Why did you move from New Zealand? Just to travel. Basically, New Zealand and Australia are very, very, very far away from a lot of places. And to be able to travel, you have to spend literally thousands of dollars for a flight alone. And so my dad is of German descent. And so my whole life he talked about just going from one country to the next on his motorbike. And so I guess there's a bit of a travel bug in me, instilled in me because of him. And I want to see all of these places for myself. New Zealand is beautiful. Australia is beautiful as well. I lived in Australia for 10 years, but they're very far away. And so I just want to see more of the world, I suppose. And I've started off in Europe because it's very exciting. And hopefully that answers your question. Asmon Gross is a funny one as well. Good to have you back here, Tao. And Twitch and also Raiders in particular, I am very sorry, but we are about to hit an ad break. I have snoozed them for as long as I can, but we're about to hit them. But remember, it's a free and easy way to support your content creators. If you want to use this as an opportunity to head off, then that is a good opportunity as well. Otherwise, on the other side, we'll probably maybe spend another 10 minutes. I might need to use the bathroom actually, and then we can play some video games after that. So we'll just catch up with chat in the meantime. Okay, cool. I think that I'm not sure why the socials didn't work, Boo Boo. Usually it works okay over there, but I'm not 100% sure what happened there. Good morning. It's a lovely day in Pennsylvania. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you so much. It's good to have you back here. Do you drive a garbage truck? Not at the moment, but maybe I could get one. But I probably have to learn how to drive a truck first. You're nothing like him. It's just in the appearance. I actually think that we could pass as siblings genuinely. I think that Asmongold and I both have these very long faces. We have the dark eyes. So I get the physical comparison. Thank you, Slurpnado. Thank you. I caught up on your shorts. Oh, thank you. I was a wealthy man at one time. Does that count? That whole clip that you're talking about is meant to be a satire, but you know, I like the honesty that you're a wealthy man at one time. You make me curious what happened though, and I suppose it depends on what you consider wealthy as well. Asmon Orange just flows better. I don't think it does. It's too long because Asmon Gold, Asmon Red. I think Asmon Orange, Asmon. We'll find it. I don't know Vinland Saga, sorry. Not familiar with this one. Okay. Yes, my dad did drive a motorcycle. So my dad had a motorcycle when he was in his 20s. And so he went on a bunch of motorcycle trips with his girlfriend at the time, and also his buddies. And then what is super, super cute is for his milestone birthdays, he meets up with his high school friends. He's got two in particular that they used to ride motorcycles in their 20s together, and they catch up and they go and ride a motorcycle again. So for example, I think for his 50th it was 50th. When would that have been? Maybe it wasn't his 60th, because I think that would have been in the COVID lockdowns. Maybe it was their 55th. In that case, I feel like it would be in between somewhere. Anyway, regardless, for one of their big birthdays, because they're all born the same year, they caught up in Mallorca. So this would have been, let's say, 10 years ago. They caught up in Mallorca, which is an island in the Mediterranean. I think it's part of Spain. You guys can probably tell me if that's correct or incorrect. And then they did a motorcycle trick. They just hired some motorcycles for that one rather than bring their own one. So yeah, he still is able to ride a motorcycle today. And sometimes they try and catch up and do other little trips. They've been to America and gone and done trips over there. Not necessarily with a motorcycle, but it's just cute. I think that he and his buddies, it's so cute that they still, despite living in 3 different countries, I think I can tell you this. This doesn't feel like a doxing thing. So they're all from Germany, but I think, Dad lives in New Zealand now. His other friend lives in America, and his other friend lives, I think, technically in Austria, not in Germany. Or maybe he moved back from Austria. So the third friend is still in Europe, at least, and in German-speaking nation. But they still try to catch up every, I think, 5 years, the 3 of them, which is so cute. So they're trying to plan their next one, because they've got another milestone birthday coming up. So that's what they're organizing at the moment. They were thinking of going to New Zealand this time, but they're all in chats. I think they're going to try and do Europe instead. Does he still have a bike? No, he doesn't have one in New Zealand. He's never had one in New Zealand, in fact. Although, does my sister have one? I know my sister got her license. I don't think she's bought a bike though. Has she bought a bike? I'll have to text her and find out. Because I know she was thinking about it. I can't remember if she actually bought one or not. But no, he doesn't. He's never had a bike in New Zealand, and he's been in New Zealand for like 30 years now. I don't know what bike he had, but I can find out next time I chat to him if you'd like. But his knees crack. Yes, I mean, he's in his 60s. Of course they crack when he stands up. My knees crack when I stand up, and I'm still in my 20s. I've been wanting to get my motorcycle license for years. Wouldn't do me any good since I don't have a place to store a bike. Yeah, I feel like I would consider getting a motorcycle license because I'm quite afraid of motorbikes, and I think it could be an opportunity for me to kind of overcome that fear a little bit. But I'm not too fussed about it. It's similarly, I won't be buying a bike even if I get a license, so it doesn't really bother me too much. Hi, Blue. So yeah, that's a little bit. And now that we're caught up, I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the opportunity to go to the bathroom, and then we'll play some games. So we'll call it a day for the just chatting now. Exactly right. I have to get a full sleeve if I get a bike. I need to go proper badass. So yeah, I am finding that I just need to use the bathroom. Usually I try to not do bathroom breaks, but it has been a little bit longer, so MIT is settled in. I'm from New Zealand. So yeah, we're going to call it a day for the just chatting. And if you guys want to come play some Red Dead Redemption and you are on YouTube, you can either follow the Xclem Plays YouTube channel. Otherwise, come over to Twitch. It's a very good experience over there. You'll see the same people who are chatting. Anything else for me to say? Oh yeah, if you've enjoyed yourself, consider subscribing. But all in all, just thank you for being here. And thank you for having a little chat and spending some of your day with us. Yeah, we're going to go play some games now. So thanks, YouTube. We'll see you next time. Much appreciated, and enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you get up to. Bye for now. It's always awkward because I always say bye and then I forget to actually click on the buttons to make it end. Okay,